Hello, people, and happy Sunday. I know it's not 4 p.m. and I'm late. However, church ran a little late. And all you need to know right now is that I brought a lot of blessings for you guys. And yeah, that's the reason I'm late. I'm sorry. You're blessed. Happy Sunday. So without further ado, it's your girl, Janie, aka Yanaj. And what this is this is 40 Lum Live, where you get to ask me questions about coming to Canada, schooling in Canada, a lot of other things, talk about later. If you are new, where have you been? So because you're new and you're getting used to all of this, do me a favor right now and just like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And then if you're returning and you're subscribed, thank you so much for joining me again on yet another episode of 4D Lum Live. And oh my God, guys, this is episode 10. I have done this approximately 10 times, where every Sunday at 4 p.m. we answer questions about being an immigrant in Canada. And if you notice, I'm sitting on the floor of a hotel room. That is a story for another day, and I'm not home. However, I made a commitment to you guys that if I can, I'm going to be live, and we're doing it. So if you appreciate this commitment and effort, give me a thumbs up right now. Thank you. Okay, so, and if you're subscribed, hello. Also turn on your notifications so you don't miss another episode of this goodness. Maybe next Sunday I'll probably be in a cave. You never know. Anyways, so what it says is I answer questions about coming to Canada, questions about school, permanent residency, even things you think are crazy and should not be asked, like culture shock. Ask me. I got you. Navigating to find a job if you're new, personal branding, networking in Canada, and even YouTube questions like, I want to be a YouTuber, or I'm starting out, what should I do? Stuff like that. I got you. And then how you do this is you can Instagram me, send a DM to Yanaj, B-Y Yanaj, but you have to be following, if not, your messages will get lost. Or you can email me at buyyanaj@gmail.com with the subject line 4G Lum Live and any other thing you want to add to it, just so that I can actually see your messages and it doesn't go to spam or whatever. Hello, everybody joining live. Thank you so much for joining right now. So without further ado, oh my God, no. First of all, let me know in the comment section right now where you're watching from. Hey, Adama from Senegal. That's interesting. Never been to Senegal. So let me know where you guys are all from. And yeah, let's get right into it. But again, disclaimer, remember, not an immigration consultant, not a lawyer or anything. This is just my personal opinion from experiences and my research. So always do not use me as your only sole resource. Yeah, that's the word. Okay. So let's get right into it. A couple people sent me questions earlier in the week. So what I'm going to be doing right now is answering those. And if you have any questions, you can leave that in the chat box here, and I'll get to that after the questions that were pre-sent. Okay. Yay. So let's get into it. First question. Hello, I'm from Nigeria, and I recently got admission for a postgraduate certificate in international development to Centennial College for winter 2019. Ooh, this year. Okay. What is the possibility of sponsoring myself for a second postgraduate certificate for a 3-year work permit? Possibility is short answer. It is very possible to sponsor yourself. However, Centennial is a Toronto school, aka in a very expensive place. So you will need to work really hard. And you can't just work one job like a lot of people do in Nigeria. You have to work at least 2 or 3 odd jobs just to make ends meet. If it helps you, I kind of sponsored myself for my master's, and I had to like babysit and do hair and to keep a full-time job. Yes, it doesn't always look like it, but that's the life. Like, honestly, I always say Canada is not for the weak. So if you cannot put up like a bold face and do extra stuff, it's probably going to be impossible. So yes, you can actually do it. But if you have experience from Nigeria, for instance, work experience, when I say experience, in the field you're about to come study more for in Canada, you might just be eligible to apply for your permanent residency with just 1-year work permit. The catch is you just have to, very close to your graduation, start looking for jobs really early on. So the second you're done with school and you get your work permit, you'll be starting work pretty much close to the day you get your work permit. That way, for that 1 year of your work permit, you would have worked exactly 1 year as well. If that helps you, I hope it helps. I've answered that question. So the next question is, I've been looking at media jobs opportunities in Canada. What is the terrain like? From your experience, I'd love to know what my chances are. I also read that the best ways to come is through studying or having a job offer before coming to Canada. Maybe I'll just take a tourist trip to Toronto. Yes, about taking a tourist trip to Toronto. If you can afford it, I always subscribe to try anything before you buy. Try, see if you like the city when you come visit, as opposed to just applying cold off the bat if you can afford to. However, keep in mind that I visited Toronto 3, 4, 5 times before I moved here, and it's still really different from visiting. It's just the whole thrill of being a tourist is different from moving to an entire city. That being said, I would say the media jobs are not, it's very competitive here in Toronto, because Toronto is a booming film entertainment industry, environment for that industry, and it's really hard to get in. So my advice to you would be, come over here, even though you have 11 years of experience, do one certificate course. That way you get Canadian experience. I've talked about Canadian experience in a lot of my other videos. Or Canadian work experience. It's like, yeah, we don't trust that whatever master's or PhD you have is actually the same standard as what we have in Canada. I know, I shouldn't have done that on camera, but it doesn't make sense. What is the way it is as immigrants? Sorry, guys. So yeah, you can actually come study for 1 year, or just apply for your permanent residency and then try to get a job before you come here. Or even if you don't get a job, you just know that once you come here, even though you get eligible for your permanent residency, you will have to do some type of education or some internship, just so you show people you have experience on Canada. So jobs without a Canadian experience, and in media specifically, like I said, is pretty competitive. But I looked at your portfolio, like your show reel for media, and I'd say that running your own show, like being an entrepreneur or businessman in that field, might actually be your best bet. Find a niche in Canada, especially maybe for the immigrant community, and shoot for them, and that would be your best bet. I hope I've been able to answer your questions. Hi, John. I'll get to your questions after the pre-sent ones, okay? Thank you for your patience. I have 2 more questions before I go on to the to the ones here on the live chat. This person wants to know if there is an age limit for a bachelor's degree in Canada, and any agencies that can help him with his application process. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen an age limit so far, because I've been to some graduations where there are people older than my mom graduating from bachelor's degrees. So that's a great thing that Canada is not ageist. However, you would have to convince the immigration officer, since you're not Canadian, why after all these years you want to come to your bachelor's degree. And that is where your letter of explanation comes through. I usually say that anything that you think will have like a yellow flag, or they might have a concern about, explain it in your letter. And with regards to the agencies that can help you process your applications, I cannot right now endorse any agencies right now, because I don't know how good they are. So even if I know a couple names, I can't prefer that to you, because yeah, they're not paying me for it. 1. 2, I really don't know if they're good. 3, I just think a quick Google search will actually help you figure out which ones are best, and you might have to call different ones to figure out the ones you want to go with. Okay, so last question, which is really long, before I get to the ones here. This person wants to know about proof of funds for applying to her study permit. I'm aware that I need to have enough funds for up to 6 months before application for the visa. However, what do I need to do if the funds won't be there for 6 months? Say you have it in your account, but it only stays for 2-3 months before you have to apply for your visa. That is a tough one. You would need to explain that again, like I mentioned in your letter, as to why the money is there for shorter than 6 months, or if it's there for 2 to 3 months as opposed to at least 6 months. Explain the scenarios to the visa officer. That being said, you also need to tell them, guys, this is painful. I'm sitting on the floor. You also need to explain to them why, how you might have alternative sources of income. And proof of funds doesn't also necessarily mean liquid cash. You can let them know about other businesses or sources of income that will generate revenue for you while you're here in Canada. But yeah, explain how the money, how you knew you were expecting the money, and how you knew that it's shorter than 6 months, yes, but you knew that this money is legit. The reason they want to see that it's up for 6 months is, at least, it's just so that someone is not borrowing you that money, and you have to pay back before you can actually pay your tuition or actually live in Canada. The whole idea is they just want to know that once you come here, you're not going to turn especially on a study permit as opposed to a refugee. You're not going to become a refugee and become a homeless person on the street, one more mouth for the government to feed. So if you can think like in the immigration officer's shoes, you'll be able to circumvent the letter of explanation. So yeah, that is that for that question. And that is that for the pre-sent questions. So I'll quickly just go over what I have here on the live chat. John wants to know, as an international student in Halifax, majoring in business economics, can I get a permanent residence with my part-time job experience, and how long do I have to stay in Canada? Okay, so short answer is yes, you can get your PR with your part-time job experience, but it has to be up to a total of 1 year full-time experience. So say you've been working 20 hours as opposed to 40 hours in your part-time work experience, you will need at least 2 years of part-time work as opposed to 1 year full-time to even be eligible. And how long do I have to stay in Canada? I don't know what you're asking there. So if you can help me clarify before I go off, that'll be better. If not, you might just have to send an email. Thanks, John. Next question is, I want to compare places like Ontario and New Brunswick. Which of them gives higher chance of getting a job easily? No such thing as easy. I'm not an advocate for anything easy, just so you know. Life is not easy. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but it's true. However, I think there are more opportunities in Ontario than in New Brunswick, just based on the development and the size of the provinces with regards to population and demand. Ontario has big cities like Toronto and Ottawa, Ottawa is the capital. And New Brunswick really doesn't have, it has Fredericton, but it's not a big city. So that is, and it depends on the kind of job you're trying to do. If you're a professional, if your job is a professional skill, like a doctor, lawyer, engineer, maybe there might be something in New Brunswick. But if your job you think is more new generational, like you're in media or marketing or business, you want to go to places where there's demand for your job. So do some research on that. You can ask anything, Mellow Vibes. And with that, thank you all to the 15 people who joined me up on my live chat today. So if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, and that would be it for now. I hope I've been able to answer your questions. If you still have any other questions that I haven't answered, remember to send me an email or DM at Bayanaj on Instagram with your questions. Sorry, okay, one question is coming in right now. For a 16-month study permit, how many years of work permit do we get after studies? It'll probably be 16 months or up to 3 years. It depends on the immigration officer. So I need to go off now. Sorry, Furo, you're just coming in. I want to keep this video really short for people who are going to be watching it after the live. I do wish you guys have a blessed week. And if you have any other questions that I couldn't answer right now in the time, remember, DM me or email me. And with that, I'd say have a great week. And yay, happy 10th episode of Buddy Lamb Live. Bye, guys. Have a great week.